dream to be shot from below, seated.
Circumcise him out of your photos.
The thing with a fringe is that if you just stick with it, it cycles in and out like fairly rapidly. You're always a little bit ahead and a little bit behind of when the fringe will be back in.
Hey look, the hot friend you cropped out of all your Tinder photos has her own show now. Welcome to Bad Advice with Olga Koch. It's me, Olga Koch. I fly economy, but I mean business. Bad Advice is a show where I, future Masked Singer incorrect guess, and a VIP celebrity guest solve your problems one terrible tip at a time. Our guest today is a Canadian writer and stand-up comedian who's written for shows like Schitt's Creek, Baroness Von Sketch Show, and Workin' Moms. She is the recipient of 3 Canadian Screen Awards, which is like the Canadian equivalent of the Rear of the Year Award. She's the best thing to ever happen to scripted television, and she won't challenge me calling her a close personal acquaintance. Monica Heisey!
My best acquaintance.
Aww, hi Monica. It's so nice to catch up with you, finally. We should do this more.
Maybe.
Tell me, Monica, what is the worst advice you've ever been given?
I think years of watching What Not to Wear really made me think as a curvy person that I should be belting everything. And I spent like 10 years very heavily belted. And I'm sort of just emerging from that now. I have a lot of belt-related trauma. I also wore like a seat belt, like a belt that looked like a airplane seat belt in high school, just, so that people knew I was a virgin.
Are you ready to answer the first question?
Yes.
There's a girl in my group project at university who I hate for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I just can't stand her. Does this make me a bad feminist, or am I allowed this one?
Oh, you're allowed this one, right? I feel like real feminism is acknowledging that some women suck.
Hating women is something that men do, and that means we're that much closer to equality.
Giving some space and distance between people you don't like is allowed and fine. I guess that's good advice.
Yeah, no, do the opposite.
Okay.
Get in her face.
Get close.
On to our next question. Rose from Walthamstow writes, my gorgeous date for this work do accidentally sent pics of his unusually purple penis to our entire office. Can I still post our pics together? Because he's still hot and I look hot too, or is everyone going to think I'm a purple peen sympathizer? First of all, what color is a penis supposed to be?
Yeah, she really drops the purple information a lot of times. She's loving how purple it is. She's mentioned it twice to us. She wants the workplace to know. I know that British work party culture is a little different than in Canada. Like, I've never seen anything like a British Christmas work party before.
People don't go as hard in Canada?
No. The main issue is I think she has a burning desire to post some hot pics,
Yeah.
which I can relate to and understand. So just crop them out for now and then sort out the rest of it later.
Circumcise him out of your photos. Our next question comes from Desiree from Wigan. I hate my in-laws so much I've changed my will so that if I die, they don't get custody of the kids. My husband found out when he was going through some documents and now he's not talking to me. Do I change it or stick to my guns?
I think stick to your guns because your in-laws are going to be your ex-in-laws shortly. I feel like if your husband is going through your documents and unearthing secrets, the bonds of trust have been bent, if not broken, let's say. This is why you can't snoop, because anything you find out, you can't tell them because you lose the high ground instantly.
Dream scenario, you die, your kids are alive, what happens to them?
Okay, so first of all, I'm dead. That is a dream. A little rest for Mon. It's not my business where my kids go after that, but I assume I would care. I guess I would send them to my little sister and her boyfriend. We call them the jam couple because they're always like growing things and canning them.
Desiree, why not rewrite your will and leave your kids to Monica's little sister? On to our next question. It's Kathy from Bognor Regis. My colleague told me, a fat person wearing flats, that she believes only skinny women should wear flats. How do I tell her she hurt my feelings?
Telling her that she hurt your feelings isn't gonna like have the impact that, say, going and getting everyone else in the office to tell this coworker that she thinks you guys look exactly alike.
Twins!
Yeah, oh my God, twins!
Why don't you ask your colleague if she's been crying? Oh, have you been crying?
You look tired.
Everything okay at
Did you
home?
have a bad sleep? I do feel like there's nothing more stressful in the world than someone showing you something and then being like, that's so you. And then they show you the most horrifying thing you've ever seen. My first boyfriend's family, they thought I was like a real freak show because I was involved in the arts in some way. So they were always getting me things that they were like, we thought this was so you. And it's like brightly colored and patterned tights like a Harlequin would wear. It's like, oh. The message of all their gifts was like, you're a clown to us. Also, his aunt once stopped in the window of a store and was like,
Oh my God, Monica, we should go in. You should try that on because that is so you.
and it was a belly dancing outfit. We did not ultimately go in, sadly. I went back and tried it in private.
On to our next question. This woman, who I think is horrendous, like she defo doesn't wash between her cheeks, slept with the same man as me. Are there parts of us that are comparable? I just feel sick. How can I come to terms with being her pogo sister? Janie, stop trying to reach me or get me to wash between my cheeks.
In Canada, we call that tunnel cousin.
Wait, is the tunnel your butt or your vagina?
I mean, lady's choice. I think, looking at my own romantic history, it's chaos in there, okay? There's not a uniting factor among these people. There are some gorgeous, intelligent, fun, smart, beautiful people, and there's a lot of men who teach improv professionally.
Should she reach out to the, because there's something
Yeah, start a Facebook thread. Get them all in there. One time I got sent a Facebook thread. It was just all different people whose name was Monica H.
Yeah.
And a woman had a personalized license plate that her mother, Monica H, was not using anymore. And she was offering it to us for sale. And I really wanted to whip the Monica H's up and get us all going on a road trip with in a van with that as a license plate. Get everyone you know that has had sex with this person as well into a Facebook thread, and you guys can see what kind of community forms.
Tom from Margate writes, I think my parents are close to getting a divorce. My dad keeps buying old classic cars and fixing them up. So he's basically using her cash to fund his fantasies without her blessing. I don't want them to separate, and these cars are sick AF.
Why is it always cars? Do you know what I mean? I would hope that my inevitable midlife breakdown takes a more creative shape.
I was gonna say, would you be sad if your parents got divorced? They are.
They are
I'm so sorry.
divorced.
Are you sad about it?
No, I mean, it was a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're both, to be fair, thriving. My mom lives in a lake house, a friggin' novel about a lady who, wrapped her sweater shawl around herself and moved to the country.
Can you do an impression with the mug? Tom, move your mom to the lake. Answer these as fast as you can. Do you pee in the shower?
No.
Would you rather your son join the army or join a YouTube prank channel?
Oh, die.
Is it immoral to sleep with someone without letting them know you're a Disney adult?
Yes.
Who was your first celebrity crush?
D'Artagnan from the Three Musketeers.
Who is your weird celebrity crush?
The boogeyman from The Nightmare Before Christmas, who is a big canvas bag of bugs.
If a 15-year-old you could see you right now, what would they be most impressed by?
How many English... No.
What were you
I was gonna say how many English accent people I've had sex with.
What would she be disappointed by?
I stopped doing mask workshops.
I won't tell her. What is a fashion decision you'll never forgive yourself for?
I was really into those little shrug sweaters that tied here.
What is a trend you adopted way ahead of its time?
Okay, well, the thing with a fringe is that if you just stick with it, it cycles in and out fairly rapidly, so you're always a little bit ahead and a little bit behind of when the fringe will be back in. You just have to commit.
Thank you so much. Have you enjoyed yourself overall?
Oh, hell yeah, of course. It's a dream to be shot from below, seated.
Well, thank you very, very much again for coming to Bad Advice. And here's some good advice. Remember, don't ever feel bad about all the terrible things you've done because they made you who you are. A really annoying bitch. Goodbye!